Hypnotherapy for something like long COVID symptoms. Now, this is super interesting because this has actually been done inside the advanced conversational hypnosis world. And I'm going to tell you what went on within that session to hopefully help you if you're a hypnotherapist who is wanting to help a client or even yourself with this. So, some hypnotherapists might tell you to do some sort of technique, right? Maybe a visualization, or maybe they're going to ask you to do this timeline where you look at the different timelines and maybe a past life because of XYZ thing that probably happened in your past life. While that sounds very sexy, listen to listen to what I just said, and see if that makes sense to you. If it does, great. You can definitely use that approach. But instead, inside our advanced conversational hypnosis world, what we do is really just focus on investigating that problem. So if you're working with a client who has had long COVID, maybe it's been a year since they've had COVID and they're still having the lingering symptoms, then you definitely want to first and foremost be, especially with any type of medical problem or issue, you want to make sure that that client has exhausted all of the medical things, the logical things that could potentially go wrong before using hypnosis. I absolutely love hypnosis, could talk about it all day, every day, but at the same time, it's not the be all end all. So make sure that that client has had x-rays, follow-ups with their physician to save your ass, first up, to ensure that this is something that doesn't need any medical warrant, right? Like, what if that person has like a pneumonia that actually needs to be treated and it looks like long COVID symptoms, but it's actually pneumonia? You want to rule that out first. So that is first and foremost going to be your most important thing to address first. So say that's all been addressed, everything is good, and maybe they've just been diagnosed with this long recurring COVID that may or may not resolve over time, right? And so what you want to do with this client is just really investigate the symptom, right? For example, their symptom is, the cough, right? Coughing that just does not stop. You want to make sure that you have, and also because I remember it now. Here's why it's super important to make sure that that client has either had an x-ray or a checkup with their actual physician to rule out that something is wrong. Like, what if that's cancer, right? You don't know that. You want to make sure that the diagnostics have been in place before working with them. Anyway, you've done that. Nothing. Everything is clear. Everything is all good. So you're investigating this long, drawn out cough that doesn't seem to be going away, right? What you're going to do, and this is what we do inside our ACH sessions, is just ask the clients their internal experience of the problem. One of the things that we utilize inside our ACH sessions is what we call unconscious moments. Something like coughing is an unconscious expression, right? For the most part, we don't always have conscious control of our cough. We can try to prevent coughs from happening, but a lot of the times we cough unconsciously, right? That is a way that our body is trying to expel things. Our unconscious mind, our body, our nervous system is doing something with that. So, what is it for that client, right? You really want to explore that, and all you want to do is ask your clients questions about their internal experience of their problem, like what is happening in their body, what is happening in their chest, like when does it come out, is it stress related, because those things are going to give you a lot of insight as to what is actually driving this. Maybe it is a stressful thing that pops up that they haven't really probably notice and put the two things together yet, or multiple things together. So if you ask things like, is there any time in the year or month or time in your life, the week, where it feels worse that you see it pop up, and have them actually think about it. As humans, we are always go, 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 right? And sometimes all we need is that moment to pause and think about and put the strings together. This is what hypnotherapy can truly help with, especially if you're skilled at the investigation phase. So definitely just ask your clients questions with regards to the internal experience they have with regards to what their COVID symptoms are that are drawn out, and then based on that, start to explore. The COVID session that I talked about had something to do with butterflies or something in the chest, something very, very odd with this client, which was really fascinating. And after that ACH session, the COVID symptoms disappeared. So by applying simple principles of, in the hypnotic interview and using unconscious expressions, we can get very far with our clients, especially and only if all the medical stuff has been cleared. So I cannot stress that that is super, super important. I sound like a broken record, but that has to come first. You never really know what you're going to come up with, especially if it's something medical. You want to rule that out first and just explore, be curious as to what that client is experiencing, have their attention be drawn towards what is happening in their bodies, based on the symptom, because that can give us a lot of information. Because as you know, what is happening in our bodies are unconscious moments that can really lead us to get to the root of these drawn out symptoms. And that client can find the resources and the things that they get to do in order for this to resolve. Really, really interesting stuff. I hope this made sense. If you have any questions at all, let me know. And the hypnotic interview, the unconscious moments, all of these things are actually taught in very, very great detail inside our ACH training. So if you have any questions regarding that, then definitely drop them off below. Otherwise, I will see you later. Let's make a massive impact together, one conversation at a time.